Okay, welcome to Scrap or Die. Today, I'm finally getting back on this Zooma scooter. I wanted to go over a couple of the upgrades that I did to it. Whenever I got this scooter, it was in a barn, beat down, missing parts, and one of the main problems was it was missing this entire steering shaft here. So I looked everywhere on the internet, whatever, and you can't find them. I found websites that used to have them. They all say out of stock, and I guess it's a good feature to have that you can unbolt that and then tilt the neck back so you could fit it like in your trunk or whatever. But all I did was, this is 2" by 1" rectangle, thick wall. Just cut the side, one of the long sides off, boom, here and here, and traced out like a cup or whatever you can get to get a decent radius on that. And then you need to tap a hole in the side, a little bit higher than halfway up. You'll figure it out. And this is 3/4 inner diameter structural pipe. It's pretty girthy. Yeah, so I got this from Lowe's. You shouldn't even use this for what I'm using it for. It is galvanized, so you have to take that off of there wherever you plan on welding it at. Use proper ventilation and whatnot. You'll figure it out. So the reason that I use the 3/4 inner diameter is so we could mount this gooseneck on. Now, the old system that they had on there was this garbage T-bar, and I didn't really want to reuse that. So now, the only thing that I didn't do that I would have liked to do was kind of make this like telescoping, whatever. I don't have the right pipes to fit inside each other, tubing, whatever. So that's what it is. And I cut the seat mounting post here. I cut this off of an old 20". I have an old 20" mountain bike that I was building into like a crossover lowrider, and it was going to be really cool, but never going to ride a pedal bike because I got stuff with motors on it. So yeah, so I just cut this, notched it with a 1¼ hole saw on a tubing notcher, and I put this support in for the gas tank. Whoever had this before me crashed it and destroyed it. It was in pretty bad shape. Somebody probably got hurt for real. But that got ripped off, so we remade that tab. And this we remade. This came off of the crossover lowrider, and the engine that we put on here is off of an APC mini chopper. I think it's 47 cc's. I don't think it's the 49. I wish it was. It's a 40mm piston is what I know. And it does have the electric start on it, which I'm considering taking off. My main purpose for building this thing is it's actually going to be rideable. I mean, you can't really ride these in the city. You know, anytime we ride them, somebody complains. Everybody got a stick up their fucking ass. Blah, blah, blah. I guess they'd rather the kids run around and shoot each other. You know, maybe steal stuff. Be little brats. So, whatever. Now this, on the other hand, I don't think they're really going to say much. I've seen kids riding them. Cops don't really bother them. And these things are a ton of fun. A ton of fun. I was never a scooter guy until I fixed this GoPed for my buddy, It was a beater and didn't have a gas tank. I fixed it up, rode it around a little bit, and they're awesome. I love riding it. It's a ton of fun. The cops don't bother you. You know, it's got a little two-stroke, which is even more fun. So we're gonna give this thing some upgrades and make it even better. I'm thinking metallic blue, gold rims. Give it that sporty Subaru look. Yeah, I forget what the rally car, little Subi rally car style, with the low rider seat. Be big pimping in this. Wah. You want to ride this scooter? Is that why you're so mad, honey? And there's the old 33cc that came off of it. Hopefully that's not broken. I want to do something with that. Now normally I wouldn't even mess with these small little, if it's under, you know, like a Predator 212 or, you know, if it's under 8 horsepower, I usually don't even want to mess with it. But like I said, I got a chance to ride one of these things and I love it. I mean, they're super fun and they actually have a decent bit of power. So enough with my chit chat and bullshitting. I just wanted to show you, you know, the mods that you can do to this thing, and I'm gonna get it up on the table, and we're gonna strip it down, clean it up, see what we can get done. I would like to build a custom pipe for this thing. Probably won't happen. And another thing that I don't like, sorry for so much camera jiggle. My daughter broke my real camera, so this is the backup. If that chain pops, it's gonna hit the gas tank. I don't know if it'll break the gas tank. It's definitely gonna hit it. So we're gonna make some kind of chain guard, some sort of thing here. And I don't have the plastic for the blower housing on this. And I searched all over the internet and I found them, but they're like ridiculous. You might as well just buy a new motor for $100. And I'm debating on attempting here to make a metal one out of aluminum diamond plate. I got a piece of scrap aluminum diamond plate over there. May or may not work out for me, so we'll give it a shot. I debated on replacing this tread plate too, but I like that design on there. I mean, it's beat the shitting back, but who cares? It's a scooter. Here's a little close-up of the part that I made here. It's not bad, it ain't great. I'm gonna maybe clean these up here and kind of radius that off, just so I don't have that sharp edge. Weld holds good, and that is an 8mm standard thread. I think 1.0. And there you have it. I'm gonna get her up on the table and I'll see you in a minute. Alright, so this is what I've been working on. I mentioned before, whenever I got this scooter, that the tank that was on it was broken. I think 2 of the 3 mounting tabs were broke off. So I built this. This is solid 1/2-inch dowel rod. It's hot rolled, so it's pretty tough. And it is pretty heavy. I added a decent bit of weight to the background like that. But it should balance it out because you got the overhang of the engine on that side. Yeah, and I'm thinking now I may be able to cut a piece of aluminum diamond plate and maybe screw it on here and here. I think it looked pretty kick-ass. And that kind of gives you a skid plate if you lay this thing down. And if anything's coming at it off the side that way, it'll just hit here. Deflect it. And I left enough room to get the tank out if you ever need to just pull the tank. It'll come right out. This stuff's just tacked in here for now. And once I pull the tank, then I'll weld it all the way up. I just slid the welding blanket under here to protect the fuel lines in the plastic tank and whatnot. But she's coming together. To get these shapes, all I did was take this piece of copper ground rod, or ground wire. This isn't a ground rod, but it's really flexible. So I just take it up here, kind of bend it where it needs to be bent, and see what kind of shape you need, you know. And boom, replicate it. Over here, I got the bender set up, and it's not the greatest, but it's helped me out a whole lot. You know, it's the only one that I have, so it's the greatest to me for now. And let's take her on over here. Now, I took this, since there was a bunch of grease and residue and stuff on this exhaust mounting flange, whatever here. I just pushed this post-it note on it, and now I'll be able to trace that out and make my own little mounting tab, and hopefully I'll be able to make that go kind of from that square to a circle. It would be awesome to put a pipe on here that was like and then came out the back. We'll see what happens. I would like to do a custom pipe. I think I have the muffler for this. I don't know, I can't remember. So I'm gonna look around, and if I have the stock muffler for this, I'll put it back on for now. But this is going to get some kind of custom pipe. I want it to scream. And another issue here, being that this thing was crashed up pretty good. Let's see if I could straighten that up so you can see how warped this is. Oh yeah, that's almost stopping it there. So I know those things are super cheap. I could probably get one on Amazon for $10, but for now we're going to disassemble this whole situation back here, and we're going to take this off, maybe straighten it out and put it back on, you know, maybe not, but whatever. It will be replaced with a new one. So we get that taken care of. I'm gonna get rid of some of these wires and stuff up here now, and I have the chain for this thing. So I'm gonna take a closer look and see if the band on this front brake's good at all. Because I want to take this thing for a test drive. I mean, it's like it's Sunday. It's maybe 2 o'clock, 2:30. It's getting dark at like 5. I'm gonna work all week. I want to take it for a test drive. The tires hold air. I don't care if the brakes work. I might hook up a kill switch. I probably should hook up the kill switch. So the throttle and a kill switch. It's all you really need in life, right? Let's do it. So this is just in there for now. Just for looks, sort of. See what we got here. Oh yeah, we got a nice hump on this bad boy. I don't know if we'll be able to tell like this, but You can see that the right side flares up a little bit. It's a lot more dramatic on the table. Oh yeah. So we got a good 1/8 inch out here. So it starts lifting here. About stops there. Everything out here is laying flat. There's our hump. And it's this side. Put an H for high on this side. I don't really know how to get that out of there. I mean, obviously I could beat the shit out of it with a hammer. I could put it in the vise and press it, or I could even heat it up on this side and get it to pull back. I did weld one of these one time and I just warped it all to shit and back. So I know if I would put a weld on this, it would pull it back, but that's unpredictable. So we're gonna beat it with a hammer. Not terrible. Well, it is significantly better, but it's not perfect yet. And I got this chain on accident for something else. And you're kidding me. I'd never opened this before. It's a full chain. Hopefully it has a master link on it holding it together. Not on this side. I don't see it. No, that's cracked. I'm gonna look around. I may have one. Alright, so I did find a 10-pack of these. Ooh, saved it. I thought it had some that came with it. And then I do have a chain breaker, but since this is such a tiny chain, I didn't feel like pissing with it. And I just ground the top of the pins down on one. And now, we're going to throw this back on. Still doesn't look good. Whatever. Spacer. Come on. Open up. This is why I hate messing with garbage like this. And I usually just take everything apart so I can put it back together correctly. Chicken. I needed to back that bolt off the rest of the way. Or at least a little more anyhow. Now I'm going to shimmy this side together a little bit here. And get a washer behind it. Wham. Oh my goodness. You want in the garage so bad, huh? She's going straight to the three-wheeler. Oh, straight to the hammer on the floor. Oh, just what you need, honey. A 3-pound sled to drop on your tiny little toe. How about Dad has that back? Thank you. Some people's kids. Alright, so that's about as good as it's getting. Yeah. It's not stopping it as it spins, so that's better. It is shaking the brakes though, but not enough to bind it to stop it. Good enough. How to do, pig. How to do. Come on, come on. Boom, that one got to come out. This here's our guy. This is the one we're going to be connecting on to. And this pin, and well, really we can take out just that pin, so. We're over here at the grinder. Now I'm gonna do, put that one pin on the edge here, just grind through it. And I ground through them both there, so I can just pop that whole top cap. Yeah. Yay! That piece hit the floor somewhere. Keep an extra close eye on the kid, huh? Alright. Yeah. That is just perfectly tight, and this is like all the way bottomed out too, which is great because now we can get a little stretch out of this chain, and we still have all the adjustment. Uh-oh. This thing is so small. And then, since this inside stuff doesn't matter, that's going to wear off, I always paint the outside of my master link. Now it's identifiable. And when the stuff that's on the rollers here wears off, we'll still have this side one painted. Now I'm going to adjust the tire and see if we even have any brakes, which I don't care. Again, I just want to ride. Alright, so real quick, while the baby wasn't in here, I busted this gas tank off and put on some better welds. These still ain't completely done. I didn't get to go all the way around, and I want to clean them up and make them look good so they transition into the other piece nicely. But the tacks that were on there were definitely going to break if I rode this thing slightly hard. So tacks are done, and now we're going to set this thing on the ground and figure out how to hook up a throttle cable and possibly a kill switch. Don't even need to set it on the ground, actually. I'm just going to come up here. And I did test the front brake. It works. So I should have just took that rotor off and left it off. It's too much weight. It'd slow me down. That throttle's real janky. Whatever. We're going to try to use something. But I got to look around and see what I can come up with. So I'm going to stop the camera. Find some parts. Probably clean up a lot of this trash that's laying around here. It's really driving me crazy. And get this thing going. Scrap or die. Alright, so the throttle that was on there was garbage. Once I hooked it up and I cranked it back, it wouldn't return from on the carb. And then I pulled the slack from down this end to get it to crank back on this end, and the wire snapped inside of the casing. So I got this brake cable here and brake lever hooked up as the main throttle, front brake. No kill switch as of yet, but there is no barrel end on this, so I kind of just got the wire folded over, and it does go back and come forward again. I'm just afraid we're going to lose it. So we got the solder gun heating up. We got some electrical solder. This is the rosin core kind. We're just going to put a little drip down in there, and should be enough to hold it. Let me get set up on the stand here. I believe this is hot enough now. This might even just really kick me in the ass later, but here we go. Now we need a kill switch. And we're done. So, I have a kill switch already kind of wired up. Yeah, probably not the best, but this is the kill switch that I use temporarily for things. It just has some alligator clips. I'm going to hook those to the coil. Actually, that's really terrible. Alright, I'm not hooking a kill switch up. These need soldered on to the coil there. I mean, I should do it. Whatever. It wouldn't be too much harder. So, I'll do it later tonight. That's something easy. But while the sun's up, the garage door can go up. You ready? Okay. You said you was ready. You can feel it pulling. I mean, it wants to go. It's hard to do a test drive with the baby here, so I'm probably not gonna do a test drive. Alright, I will. Just right out here. You convinced me. I have to do it. That is liquid starter fluid. Much too good for little children. You ready to be scared, chicken? Huh? Ready? Yeah. So I have this velocity stack on here for the carb, and it has its own built-in choke, and it really sucks. I mean, anytime you hit a bump, it falls down, closes it off, right back into choke. You get no throttle. I had the same problem on the little APC mini chopper, so I ended up taking a piece of, I think it was a piece of O-ring, yeah, a piece of rubber O-ring, stuck it behind there, and then mounted it all back together. And now you kind of have to force it up and down. It's a little bit hard, but it doesn't fall down. So before we can get a real ride out of this thing, we're going to need to fix that. And I want to put the seat back on. And I want to hook up a kill switch. So, alright, my itch was scratched. It works. Now, we'll make it safe and then take it for a better ride. Come on. Say thank you. Bye. Bye.